Welcome back. The political news in full. The Interior Ministry arrested a criminal gang for illegally excavating sites nationwide with the aim of smuggling and selling antiquities. The ministry added that the looted relics found in the man's possession included 2 wooden tablets engraved with hieroglyphics, 36 different statues of various lengths, in addition to 201 artifacts. Earlier, Egypt restored 114 antiquities smuggled to France in the framework of the state's strategy to preserve its acquisitions and history. According to a public prosecution statement, Public Prosecutor Hamada Sawi and a senior ranking delegation retrieved the artifacts at the premises of the Egyptian embassy in Paris. The move came upon an investigation by the prosecution in cooperation with French judiciary authorities, which resulted in halting procedures for selling such artifacts than their restoration. Egypt on Thursday reported 423 new coronavirus infections, bringing the total number of cases to 279,184 people since the outbreak hit the country in mid-February last year. The Health Ministry also reported 35 new deaths, bringing the total number of fatalities to 16,002. The ministry added that 781 patients were discharged from hospitals, raising the number of those who have recovered to 208,192 people. Preparations are underway for the 52nd edition of the Cairo International Book Fair, which will kick off on June 30 until July 15. 700 publishers will participate in the exhibition, which is held under the slogan, "Reading is Life." Minister of Health and Population Dr. Hala Zaid reviewed the precautionary measures that will be followed during the fair. More details. The 52nd Cairo International Book Fair will kick off on June 30 and will run until July 15 at Egypt International Exhibition Center under the slogan "Reading is Life." Preparations for the book fair are underway, including the launch of a website for the fair, which come in line with the Egyptian state's orientation towards technological transformation. The Ministry of Culture is currently designing an online portal for its agencies, which includes sites and pages for all cultural publications issued by the ministry. Minister of Culture Ines Abdeldaim issued directives to launch the Your Culture is Your Book initiative during the fair, which includes hundreds of books from different publishing houses. With all books under this initiative are sold for £20 or below. The Supreme Administrative Committee of the Cairo International Book Fair selected the writer Yahya Haqqi as the main personality of the 52nd round, and for the first time, the committee decided to choose a main character for the children's book fair, which is the writer Abdel Tawab Yusuf. The committee also decided the continuation of celebrating the centenary of the writer and translator Tharwat Uqaisha and poet Salah Abdul Sabur through one of the axes of the cultural activities of the book fair, in addition to printing a group of their books as part of the Ministry of Culture's celebrations of the 2 great writers. About 700 publishers will participate in the exhibition. This came as the Embassy of Spain announced the country's participation in the 52nd edition of the book fair, stressing its keenness on such important cultural events, highlighting Egypt's pioneering role in the book industry in the Arab world. Ahead of the fair, Minister of Health and Population Dr. Hala Zaid reviewed the precautionary measures that will be followed by international entities participating in the book fair, as the Minister of Culture stressed that the fair will adhere to all precautionary measures against the coronavirus, in addition to applying the electronic reservation system to facilitate the entry of the visitors. The procedures include allowing those who have proof of receiving the vaccine via the QR code to enter the exhibition, as well as offering discounts to those requesting PCR tests. Welcome back, and now with the business and finance news in full. Egypt has signed a non-disclosure agreement with the Japanese owner of mega ship that blocked the Suez Canal in March as it finalizes a compensation agreement. The Canal Authority chief said Egypt has been seeking hundreds of millions of dollars in compensation from a Japanese firm, Choiki-san, for lost canal revenues and the cost of salvaging the ship and repairing the damage to the canal. It slashed its initial claim for $900 million to $550 million late last month, but the final amount has been the subject of tough negotiations between the two sides.